can we do to help ourselves stay centered? And there are things that are going to rock our world, and we're going to feel like that. But what are the things that we can do to kind of help bring us back? Bring us back and settle us down to where we want to be. Well, the first thing, and probably everybody in here will agree with me, meditation. So if we meditate, say if we meditate regularly, 20 to 30 minutes a day, that helps calm our inner being down and our core. It makes us pleasant and nice. But as Angie says, we don't need to be doormats. But it calms our inner core and settles us down. Another thing that we can do, another practice we can do would be to listen to meditative music. Now, I have quite a collection of that at home, and I usually listen to it when I'm going to bed. Because it's just really, really, really very peaceful. And the other thing I use it for is if I wake up really, and I wake up early. Oh my God, do I wake up early? I'll wake up at 3:30. I'll wake up at 4 o'clock. And I won't be able to go back to sleep. So if I lay there, I'm rolling, I'm tossing, I'm turning, in jeopardy of waking my wife up. So sometimes I'll just get up and I'll push the button and I'll play the CD again. Because if I just lay there, and just with those nice, peaceful sounds and that beautiful music coming through, it just relaxes me. And I literally could lay there for an hour without moving. But without that, I'm just a restless ball of energy. So, how about being mindful of things? If we're paying attention and if we're aware of the things that are going around, that kind of helps us too. Nothing, knowledge is power. So the more that we know, the more that we read. And I'm not much of a reader, but when something interests me, I lock onto it and grab it. More of a music person, right? If they could put it in a song, wow, that would really be great. I could go for that. And how about having a date with yourself? Have you ever thought about this? Take yourself on a date. Like today. Beautiful day, go outside, put a blanket down, sit on the green grass, look at the flowers, the trees coming out. And if you don't have hay fever or the pollen doesn't affect you, you'll have a pretty nice experience. If you're like me and some of these plants have an adverse effect on you, then maybe not so much. But have a date with yourself, a little quiet time, just go out where it's peaceful and quiet, or you can even do it in your chair. And if you're having trouble, put some of that meditative music on. You will love it, guaranteed. Or how about if we took the book, Deepak Chopra's book, The 7 Laws for Spiritual Success, and how about if we just took one of those laws each day and just focused on that, like the law of pure potentiality. And what if we just concentrated on that for one day? Now, I really like that one because it's where everything's at. It's like way out there in space where all that energy is, where all the ideas are, where anything is possible. And if we can connect with that and bring it into ourselves, oh, wow, something from nothing. How do things get invented? From thought. Is a thought a thing? Well, yeah, it's a thing, but it's not a physical thing. You can't touch a thought. But yet, somebody thought of the microphone and how we can use that to transmit our voice in large areas or small areas. So, another transformation. A thought to a form. So transformation is always happening with us. It's just that when we get out of that, there's certain things that we need to get us back in. The renewal thing. So we go back to our practices. But how about this? How about slowing down as a practice? Everything moves so doggone fast these days. Why can't we just take a deep breath and sit down and just say phooey on it? I'm not going there. I'm just going to take it easy. And when I thought of this, I had done a talk a while ago, and I used a website called, if you go to slowdownnow.org, these people are all about going slow, you know. They have a manifest that you can read, and they have all these directions on how to go slow and how to get out of bed. They'll give you directions on how to get out of bed. And it's not just wake up and get out of bed. It's like wake up and take your time. Everything is slow. And you know what? Every once in a while, I need to be slow. But somehow, I need that music to really slow me down. So at least I have that. Or how about trying to eat a little differently? You know, we all hear about, if you eat more vegetables, your mother always used to say, eat your vegetables. Your mother said, didn't say become a vegetarian, but she wanted you to eat your vegetables. Because those sometimes are at least, you know, when you're a kid, who wants to eat a Brussels sprout, you know, or a broccoli or cabbage? I mean, who wants to eat that, you know? But, you know, so if we try modifying our diet a little bit. Not so much red meat, maybe even not so much chicken, but more red, you know, because for a while I did that because my numbers were all wacky and my system was out of balance. And you can get protein from a lot of sources, you know. Beans are a good source of protein. So try changing your eating program. That can certainly be a practice you could get into. Or how about just, you know, there we are again, back to reading. Read something that's inspiring or uplifting, or listen to some music that lifts you up. I know a lot of times in the morning people come in and I'm back there. I go to work at 5:30, so there's a reason why I get up early. But I'll be back there and I always find something kind of rousing to get me up, get me going and get my energy up. So I have a CD player back there. I'll put on something. Who knows what it'll be? It could be Steppenwolf or Jimi Hendrix, or
yes.
It could be anything. It could be The Who. It could be a guy at work gave me a CD of big band music. That's Brian Setzer, and so there's usually something pretty hot coming down the hallway, you know. So when people come in there, sometimes accosted by what they hear, but you know, I'm there by myself. It's 5:30, you know. But so that helps lift me up and get me going for the day. Or how about when you're in that space, just do something really creative. Whether it's write a poem, sketch something, you know, if you're artistic, paint a picture. If you're musical, play an instrument. Art just doesn't have to be, or creative expression can be cooking. It can be rearranging your living room, giving a little feng shui, you know. There's lots of things we can do to be creative. So those are all practices that can head us in the right direction. But there's one practice, I think, that we all know how to do and is all right at our fingertips, and that's spiritual mind treatment. And even though we don't have to go through all the steps, if we think it, we can make it happen. So, the practices. There we are. We're practicing. We fall out. Then we need to renew. So we come back to our practices and we try again. So, I was talking earlier about that field of pure potentiality and where everything is out there, where all those ideas and everything are out there. And then it dawned on me that next month we'll be looking at the female principle. And what is the female principle? It's the same thing. It's the birthplace of ideas. So it's right there, just calling something a little different. It's the field of all possibilities. Those ideas are out there. We can grasp them and we can bring them in. And I'm sure that next week, Angelo will be here talking about this feminine principle. And say with me.
And so it is.